probably time to start wrapping up these Lester sessions. Lester is apparently getting tired, as evidenced by his reluctance to actually play the notes I strike. A lot of unintentional rest in that last piece. So as we wind down, I thought I'd play something a little different. It's an original piece that I developed on Lester. But what's different about this one is that it wasn't really written as a song. I actually wrote it as a little exercise. Now some of you might have noticed that I occasionally employ key changes in my songs. A good example would be in the last verse of One Guitar, or actually even in the Syracuse Blues, for those of you who know that one. And actually, come to think of it, the last verse of the studio version of Out of the Void has a key change as well. Although I didn't use a key change in the piano version I just played for you. And actually, yeah, I had key changes in Love Was All That She Wanted, Gotta Get Away, in the last song. Oh, and there's a ton of key changes in Where the Children Still Play. I think I changed key in every verse on that one. More recently, Can't Say Goodbye has a key change. So I guess I use key changes in my songs fairly regularly. It's a technique that can sometimes give a song more of, I don't know, energy or something, or make part of a song stand out from the rest. Barry Manilow, we were talking about him earlier, he did that a lot. Actually, you heard that in the previous session on One Voice. So I don't know, maybe I'm more like Barry Manilow than I thought. Don't go crazy with that idea. I'm sure there are some profound differences too, guaranteed. Trust me on this. Anyway, key changes are usually pretty abrupt, especially in pop music. Probably because most pop music has fairly predictable chord progressions. So when you suddenly change key, the listener notices. And so I thought it might be cool to come up with a progression that delivers a subtle key change that most people wouldn't identify as such. It probably wouldn't support a pop music format, but it would force me to play some chords I wouldn't normally employ. Hence, I wrote this as an exercise, and for a number of years, I played it pretty much every time I sat down at Lester, just as a little warm-up. And finally, a friend heard me playing it and asked what it was, so I told him it was just a string of chords, nothing important. To which he replied, "Hey, it's really interesting. You should put words to it and call it a song." So I did, and I played it for him a little later, and he jumped out of his seat and said, "That's great, you got to record it." Well, I haven't actually recorded it yet, but I think I will if I can carve out enough time to do another album. So I'll play it for you now, the piano version, since we're honoring Lester here. If you want to hear the lyrics, you'll have to wait for the next album. How's that for a teaser? Anyway, I call it The Making of a Memory. So that's the making of a memory. Did you hear the key change? It's in there.